Here we have hole GD 24260. This was announced earlier this year, and Northern Miner put out a report. This was actually the 15th highest grade hole in the entire world,
wow.
Announced in 2025. So very unique, a lot of visible gold. Also here, there's a sample here from our jackpot showing, and that's a sizable chunk there, and there's gold all around the seam here.
Hello and welcome to the Assay TV. Today I'm here at One-to-One Mining Investment Dubai, and we have Roger Rosmus, founder, CEO, and Director of Goliath Resources here with us. So Roger, great to have you here.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure to be able to catch up, especially in person.
Yes.
So Goliath has become somewhat of a standout explorer in British Columbia's Golden Triangle. Can you talk about, what's your approach? How do you think this sets you apart from others?
Well, I think we've been able to attract a fairly robust share register as far as some of the names that are attached. Obviously, Crescat Capital, one of our big supporters since 2020. Eric Sprott came in 2021 before we drilled the system. And then, it's picked up momentum now, Rob McEwen and McEwen Mining. And it's a very high grade grassroots discovery that had never been drilled before because it was covered under glaciers and permanent snowpack. So just till recent time, this wouldn't have been made possible, this discovery. So, the Golden Triangle has been picked over extensively. And again, just with the recession of this material exposing brand new outcrops at surface. So that would be probably certainly one of them. And then secondly, the fact that we've got a 100% hit ratio as far as the drills that the drill holes we put in to date, which is close to 400 holes, of which vast majority actually have visible gold in the core. And as an example, here we have hole GD 24260. This was announced earlier this year, and Northern Miner put out a report. This was actually the 15th highest grade hole in the entire world, announced in 2025. So very unique, a lot of visible gold. Also here, there's a sample here from our jackpot showing, and that's a sizable chunk there, and there's gold all around the seam here. Its sister sample from the same vein ran over 20, I think it was like 22 ounces of gold. So it's a very robust, widespread distribution of visible gold in all the core throughout this entire mountain region. So I'd say that certainly is a key factor that sets us apart. Yeah,
absolutely. Do you have additional kind of results that you want to share with us? These are pretty impressive.
Yes.
So, how do these results kind of shape your understanding of the whole system that you're working in?
Yeah, well, we every year we drill, the system gets bigger, which is nice. And, we just did complete the largest drill program for the company. It's just 64,300 and change meters. We did all this in 3 months with 9 rigs. In my mind, it's probably like one of the largest drill programs of in this topography because it's all helicopter assisted. And in aggregate, we've only been on the property for, call it 19 months, so less than 2 years. And yes, we've been drilling since 2021, but we're just with Mother Nature, we're constrained with sort of a June to kind of October timeline to be on the site. So within a very short period of time, we've confirmed a stacked layer of veins over 1.2 kilometers, kind of like a layer cake. And then within a 1.8 square kilometer area, sort of as far as size goes, we're looking at, let's say, greater than half the size of Central Park, Manhattan City.
All right, and so with some of this recent drilling, you've expanded on the Bonanza high-grade zone quite significantly.
Yes.
So, what does this mean for the overall footprint? Do you want to talk about kind of that growth?
Yeah, actually, not just Bonanza, but all the other lodes we've expanded upon. It does remain open still, even after this year, laterally and at depth. As an example, the deepest hole we have under the valley floor is like 500 meters. So we know just from the work the Colorado School of Mines have done for us, we know there's a causative intrusive body, basically a big magma ball somewhere that brought all this mineralization into the system. And so that's one of the key areas we're looking to possibly tag into at some point. Will we ever? I'm not sure. Certainly there's been a lot of mines that have produced, 10, 20 million ounces now. They actually haven't found, pardon me, the actual source. But certainly with the size and as far as the scale, it's quite large as is. So the magma mother lode would be a nice bonus, but ultimately the system itself is quite large.
Right.
And I believe certainly has the legs to be a tier one deposit at the end of the day once we find the parameters at some point.
Absolutely. And so, part of kind of growing this resource was with your 2025 drill program. You did upsize the program from 40,000 to 60,000 meters. Can you talk about, what drove this decision and what sort of plans do you have in place next?
Great. Yeah, no, it was really the success on the drill bit with all the visible gold with it. And ultimately, the stock actually ran very well. And we were able to capitalize, refinance the company at a much higher rate. So one of the financings we did earlier this year, actually in March, was with McEwen Mining, which is McEwen Inc. now. We did a $10 million financing. We didn't actually take the cash. We took actually the stock of the company at $11.50 Canadian. That's actually now worth $26 million. Based on the value of the stock. Actually did hit a high of 34. And ultimately we'll have to liquidate that. But then we did 2 bought deals with Stifel. And that was quite great. We just, closed a $26.3 million financing. So, what does that do for us? We're essentially fully funded for another aggressive large drill program for 2026. And, we have all these assays pending as well from this year's drilling, 2025. We did 110 holes, of which 80 are still assays are pending. And 62 of those actually have quite a bit of visible gold in it as well, if the folks want to go take a look at our news releases. And we hope to have quite a bit of news coming, starting here, going into the new year.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, as you mentioned earlier, you do have backing from some of the major names in the industry, like Eric Sprott, Ron McEwen, Crescat Capital. How do you think these relationships really kind of influence your growth strategy and potential future partnerships, but also just your kind of confidence in the program?
Sure. Yeah, I think when people are looking to possibly invest in the company, you always go to the share register to see who's actually in there, and clearly they've already done their due diligence. So I would think that it's going to give confidence in maybe a new investor, retail, what have you, institutional group to look at that and say, geez, that's obviously a positive sign. So, clearly, these people don't like to lose money. They like to pick winners. And we like to think that we are a winner. We've been, we've been on a very good trajectory here. And, I think that's overall just great to have them on the register versus, people. I think anyone in the mining space would love to have these names attached to their stories. So.
100%. Yeah, definitely. And, looking forward for the coming year, you've had this expanded drill program this year. What can we be on the lookout for in 2026? Any kind of key milestones or upcoming news that we should be on the lookout for?
Yeah, really just the assays of these 80 holes to come. And then, we'll update our model essentially and plan for a 2026 drill program as mentioned. We are fully funded for next year, which is fantastic. So there's no finance overhang with all this news coming in the pipeline. And let's go back and continue to drill. 80% will be infill, 20% will be expansion. That's essentially what we did this year as well.
Excellent.
And hopefully we can drill into that mother lode at some particular point.
Absolutely. Well, we'll definitely have to check back in over the next few months and see how things are progressing. But Roger, I want to thank you for joining us here in Dubai and also on the Assay.
Thank you so much. Pleasure.